Lucky position, a first-time luck, but we're going to see if it's going to pay off here in game number 1 as he takes on the reigning world champion, Ruben P. You know, it feels like, I just remember, like, just the other day when Ruben got his first YCS win, we were there commentating. It was a team event, I believe, in LATAM. We commentated from the office, and I remember telling you, I was like, wow, like, this is someone who's, like, deserved a YCS win for a while. He's put the time in, the effort, and then now look what he's done since then.
I mean, he's kept proving himself every single time.
Definitely, and now he's at the top. He is going to be playing Adagnister Malice up against Mitsurugi Raziel. Okay. And it looks like Jacob is going to start things off with a Molcharmi Fualos.
It's a Perulia, actually.
No, Perulia.
A little easier to play into from the Malice side, especially if we're going to be starting off with Gold Sarcophagus. Might not even give him a single draw here.
And then I'm going to go Chessy Cat effect, pay 300.
Yeah, we're going to be leading off with Chessy Cat here. Chessy Cat able to, once it's hit the field, banish a Malice card from his hand to draw 2 cards. Playing around the Perulia, just happening to do so.
Yep, this is, you don't if you have something like infinite impermanence, you usually don't want to use it here on something like Chessy Cat. Because let's say you impermit here, they don't banish the Dormouse, they don't draw 2 cards, but then they can follow it up with the normal summon of Dormouse if you do waste your imperm. But you can hold it for that Dormouse or maybe something like a White Binder, a potential more pivotal moment to imperm the Malice deck.
I mean, Ruben off to an extremely strong start already.
I'm going to go Dormouse effect.
Dormouse is activated now.
It's going to banish a Malice monster from the deck, and it does look like it resolves. No infinite impermanence here from Jacob.
Then I'll go effective White Rabbit.
There is the White Rabbit. White Rabbit's able to activate once banished, paying 300. This will add up. So you got to pay attention to the amount of life points you pay if you're not getting it all back with GWC.
Then I'll go effective set.
Definitely already at 900 life points down. Malice White Rabbit's going to be able to set a Malice trap on summon here. He's going to set GWC 06. That's special summons from the graveyard or banishment.
No, you're good.
One of the only ways to get your life points back after you keep paying for all of these Malice effects.
That's right. It does have that bonus effect that if you have a Link 3 on the field, after you use it, you get to gain the attack to your life points. Let's see where Ruben decides to go next.
Looks like we're going to be linking all 3 away here, potentially into Red Ransom. There it is.
I'm going to go effective Ransom.
Now, Red Ransom has gotten a lot better since the release of Alan's Insight with the introduction of Malice in the Mirror. Not only is it another spell that you can potentially search with Red Ransom, it also makes Malice in Underground a little more viable because you can use Malice in Underground to banish that Malice in the Mirror, then banish a Malice monster from your graveyard, and you're able to access Malice March Hare.
And then Dormouse.
Yeah, March Hare existing already just gave you so many more levels of how to play this deck.
Resolution. You're good.
Yeah, I always like to look at it like kind of like the Fire King Kieran, as we're able to help you dodge things potentially, gives you some interactive play during your opponent's turn, but also has like so much more that it can give you. I mean, even that the fact that it can add back when it's banished makes Allure Darkness free sometimes. But we do see him activate GWC 06. He has to banish the Malice monster in order to special summon back that Chessy Cat. And now the Red Ransom, since it's banished, will be able to pay 900 life points, special summon it back to the field, and then banish the Cyberse monster from his deck. So right here, he could also banish a March Hare if he wants to add it to his hand without having to use the Malice in Underground to go after that Malice in the Mirror.
I mean, he has used every other name so far, so likely that will be what happens.
Yeah, Dotscaper not as popular in Malice decks now. They really kind of like streamline for efficiency. They don't want any dead draws, so they're trying to slim down some of those cards that they used to play in the Malice strategy.
Absolutely. Now, GWC was used, and because Red Ransom was banished for cost here, it was not there at resolution, so will not be gaining any life. It's been an expensive turn so far, but we're likely going to be trying to reset that GWC with the effect of White Binder later in this turn.
I'm going to go Allure Darkness.
All right, now we're going to see Allure of Darkness come down here for Ruben.
Yes.
Sorry. He's going to let him draw 2 cards and banish the Dark from his hand. Won't be able to get that free value since March Hare's already used its effect to add back from the banished when it's banished. But he's going to banish an extra copy of Chessy Cat.
All right, large hand here. Let's see how he decides to combo further. There is a Drone Lockbird at the end. I think every single card that could be added has been added at this point.
Yeah, Droll's gotten a little bit better because they still can go into like Cyberse Wicked to be able to search for a backup secretary. Backup Adagnister. It lost the secretary part when it became a main deck monster. But we'll have to see if that's going to come into play here. He already has so many cards in hand. It looks like he does already have the backup in the hand.
Did a card get summoned from Ruben's hand at this point to give him a draw off Perulia?
No, I don't think so. No, but it's about to be.
Well, I
Oh,
was
but
wondering.
he's under Droll and Lockbird now, so
Yeah.
he won't be able to draw any cards.
I was wondering what was the point of waiting for the Droll up to this point. I think he was just potentially waiting to see if he was gonna be able to get a card off Perulia. But now it's just far too late for it to ever be necessary, which is unfortunate for the immediate play after to be backup Adagnister.
Yeah, at least he won't be able to add the Wizard Adagnister with backup Adagnister's effect.
Finishing.
I think the way the Perulia and the Droll played out is only hurting Jacob here.
Anything here?
No.
Yeah, it does not feel good. He has 2 cards that he's used from his hand for defensive options, but Ruben is not slowing down in the slightest. He's going to link those 3 monsters away for Heart's Cryptor. Now we'll see if these 2 are linked away for something like Firewall Dragon, or if he's going to get another monster on the field and trying to go into White Binder. But it does look like he is going to link them away, and it is going to be Splash Mage. So
Mage.
he is going to try and find a way to get to White Binder.
Yeah, we'll be able to climb back up here.
Targeting here.
Flash Mage will target the March Hare, summoning it back to the field. Likely going to immediately link away the 2 bodies here.
Link summon with these 2. Summon out. Binder.
White Binder will likely
on
not use its
summon.
effect to banish anything from Graveyard here. Not really a reason to.
Use its effect. Effect to reset.
Yep, he's going to reset the GWC.
DW6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's a question of if he has any other monster to extend past this point. We do know about the Mouse in Underground. He is the only effect that's...
K9.
Oh, of course, being able to just banish the Cryptor.
I'm at 5k.
I paid 3,000 life points this turn.
That's a lot of life points, but he's building an impressive board along the way. Now this is where the Firewall Dragon is going to come down.
Nice
Beautiful,
Ghost Rare.
yeah, beautiful Ghost Rare.
Not one you see very often.
All right, so he got to reset the
you can-
GWC, sets another card face down. Ends with Firewall Dragon. I believe he has a March. Well, he used one of the March Hairs, but he might have another copy of March Hare in his hand, which is works like GWC 06 potentially. Being able to banish a Malice, link monster from the graveyard, and just summon right back.
Yeah, the same as any Bestial,
Oh, yes.
essentially.
Habakiri is going to be activated first to start things off here for Jacob.
Summoning Saji, tributing
Yep.
Saji. New chain Saji effect.
I'll chain Ash Blossom.
Ooh, an Ash Blossom on the Saji. Could be brutal here.
Activate ritual.
Oh, no, we already have Ritual in the hand.
From the hand.
Wrong start.
Looks like he's going to be trying to summon
Looking.
from his hand. Let's see if this prompts a response here
I'll
from
chain
Ruben.
GWC.
He is going to chain the GWC 06 to special summon back a Malice monster. He's going to go after the White Binder. Now White
And then
Binder is
I'm
going
making
to be
23.
co-linked
So
with
put
that
me at
Firewall
53
Dragon.
Or 73.
So
This
now-
was a very rough chain, I think, for Jacob to go for here, because he's trying to. He said he's summoning from hand, which means he's going to be tributing the monsters from the deck here. If he's trying to go for something along the lines of the Serpent, okay, no, he's just going for 2 tribute effects here, which is fine.
Chain
But otherwise, if he was trying to
Your
summon
turn
a
player, so you
monster from the
have
graveyard, the White
more
Binder would have been
tribute
able to banish that in the
Chain
chain.
link 1, a handmade,
Yep,
chain link
definitely
2,
Jacob
and
saw that
also chain
coming
link
too,
3
so
classic
he's going to go ahead and use
Thinking here.
the 2 Mitsurugis to add back from the graveyard, potentially. He still has Firewall Dragon online. Malice White Binder is going to have the effect on summon to banish 3 cards from either player's graveyard.
I think this potentially is a position where you have to chain the Firewall to put the Murakumo back in the hand. Potentially before you can, before there's an option to
I'm gonna
grab
go White
prayers.
Binder, chain link 4, targeting your ritual spell.
Interesting,
Red
going after the
Ransom,
ritual spell.
and
Not
my
really a
Cryptor.
point in doing that, because Kusanagi can add back from banished as well.
Response.
I mean, he's just
chain a hand.
why not kind of thing, maybe.
To force
Sure.
me to discard.
Correct, otherwise the effects.
But he's just trying to get some more
I'll chain him to
monsters
target.
go-link.
Interesting. Okay, opting to use the
Alright,
Infinite Permanence
so
instead of
this
discarding
gets
any of those cards in
banished,
hand.
These 2.
So
That gets banished.
Going to
and
banish
then
the
you
Heart's
resolve this,
Cryptor, the Red Ransom.
And then my board doesn't get destroyed because
Correct.
it got impermed.
And Firewall is just a bounce, correct?
Correct.
I wonder how important those 2 cards in hand are that you're choosing to keep
I'd like
those
to
instead of
see
Infinite Permanence. They both have to be pretty good.
I mean,
I
it
was
looks
I
like
don't
we're
know what the
not
last
going to
card
find
could be,
out.
but
But he only had
It's
1
like-
card in hand
I
since
have
he
2
had those
banishes left,
defensive
so I was
I
options.
was like, you played around Perulia so well. It's like,
And you
Yeah,
hear
it is
Jacob
what it
giving
is.
the world champ
I was like, I
his
couldn't
props
even, I
for the
couldn't
way
even
he
play.
played
I was
around Perulia. I mean, if there's a deck that can play around Perulia, it's probably going to be Malice when they draw Gold Sarcophagus. Because Gold Sarcophagus is really going to help you navigate and be able to summon all your monsters without ever having to summon from your hand.
Yeah, especially when the one that you go for is, in fact, that Chessie Cat. You get so much value out of that.
Yeah, Ruben is a signer. I saw that cool tattoo there on his arm. That's pretty sweet. But you see him winning game 1 swiftly, starting 8-0. He has not lost a round in this tournament, and he's trying to finish out with a clean sweep for the day of our first day 1 of YCS Providence. But Jacob, 8-0 for a reason. He's been here. He's probably been down a game at some point in the tournament, but he's going to have to bounce back, stay level-headed, stay focused, know that he's going to be diving into his side deck and have the opportunity to go first this time, because really Malice shines brightest when it's going first.
Absolutely. And now Ruben has to make the decision in siding whether Jacob even plays Ryzeal cards, because all he saw was the Mitsurugi inside of the engine, right? It's a bit of a gamble to assume it's pure, because I think there are more Mitsurugi Ryzeal variants than there are the pure Mitsurugis running around.
True. But I mean, we see people like Tavion Crowley, our YCS Orlando champion from this year, on that pure Mitsurugi strategy and doing well throughout the tournament. I mean, it's unfortunate he had to run into someone like Carl, who is still undefeated going into this last round. He's one of those 7 undefeated duelists. So after he cleaned up in the feature match, he continued to win his next round, and now maybe he'll be able to finish out undefeated. It wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the day, 2 of the 4 undefeateds were going to be Ruben and Carl.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I feel the players that we've had in the undefeated slot have been at such a high caliber for this event. It goes to show these formats or there's brand new format events where a set just drops. A lot of players that have shown their creativity over years and have just a lot of experience, they consistently do well.
That is very true. You see nothing but smiles here for Ruben. Nothing but smiles here for Jacob, too. I mean, yeah, it sucks losing game number 1. It doesn't feel good. But when you're 8-0, it doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad, right?
It doesn't, once you're 8-0, you're kind of being wait, why haven't I lost yet? That's what I would be wondering. It's bound to happen. Sometimes you're going to run into a tough wall, but he's only lost game number 1. The match isn't over. We've seen some comebacks throughout the day. We're going to have to see if he's going to be able to mount a big comeback with his Mitsurugi Ryzeal strategy. Both of these are it's not a shock that both of these decks are undefeated. These are the 2 top decks going into this weekend, and this is game number 2. So let's jump into it. The duelists are ready. They all drew their hands in the exact same way, which is kind of funny to see, but Ruben, I see at least a Mulcharmy and an Ash Blossom.
Draw's good.
Same way.
Yep.
Mid.
Yeah.
Made it all the way to main phase 1. Nothing's been activated just yet. Pass? Did you say pass?
Pass?
I heard pass.
I guess that can happen sometimes.
Oh, no, not like this.
All
Not
right,
in
so
the
when
last
Malice
round.
goes first, it's pretty good. Oh, but there's a Lancia. I mean, if he passed before, you're fine to just pass back now.
I think that is an option, but if he has anything proactive he can use, but
I mean, you said that he has a Mulcharmy of his own.
True, he could just end up passing right back.
Okay.
Say, you better draw something good. And even if you do, I might have something to stop it. Will we see 2 passes in a row?
Draw, pass turn.
Nope.
He looks like he might commit.
Normal summon.
All right, he is going to normal summon back up at Ignister.
Lets him add a Dark Cybers to hand. See what he goes for. Gonna grab the Dormouse for follow-up here. Just saying that the other cards in his hand will get him to the next turn anyway. Discarding the flawless.
Attack for 12.
Backup will hit in for some small damage here.
You're at 68 to my full.
Yes, correct.
I'm going to present the deck. Main phase 2.
It actually looked like his hand was very weak and couldn't play that well anyway because his starter was backup at Ignister. So this worked out pretty well for him.
Yep.
I do think it did the best he could with his bad hand, but it does look like
normal
Jacob
summon
drew a
Ice
card
Ryzeal.
that he can summon, and that's going to be Ice Ryzeal.
Wallace would have been really strong into that, but because you
Change
pretty much
Pulse.
know, I was going to say, you knew he couldn't play before. Dominus Impulse here, essentially being effect failure, but that could be good enough.
Go to battle.
Yep, it looks like we're going straight to a battle phase. We have a quick one here. Jacob's going to take down the backup Ignister with his Ice
I'm at
Ryzeal.
75 to your 68.
Correct.
All right, we'll see if it's an immediate pass back
ahead.
here.
We got an honest game on our
draw
hands.
I mean,
Stand
I
by
got to
phase.
peek at Jacob's hand. It is
One.
Correct.
pretty abysmal.
Normal summon.
Not great,
attempt to use effect.
but now Ruben has made it through the Artifact Lancia turn. Malice P Dormouse is on its way down. It's going to banish Malice White Rabbit.
White Rabbit's
I'm
able
at
to activate its
72.
effect here, paying 300, summoning itself back from the banish as long as there's no interruption.
Effect to White Rabbit.
To
Set.
set.
Effect on field will be setting a Malice Trap from the deck. Let's see what he goes for.
MTP.
There is MTP
And
07.
you have 3 cards, 4 cards in hand.
Pretty telling of what his
Tier 2.
current set is
3.
for his opponent.
One can guess.
Thinking here.
TB11 for sure, right?
You would think it would be TB11, but apparently you just don't need that card in Malice anymore. I don't know if I agree with that. I do like having TB11, but a lot of Malice players have cut it, and they are really only running MTP07 and GWC06.
And they're doing well, so you can't really complain.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not always right, but we see a Link summon coming down here for Cybers Wicked.
Wicked's good. The summon is good.
Wicked is a
for
cool one,
GWC.
so if you special summon a Cybers monster to a zone it points to, you'll be able to
Reborn
add a
from
Cybers
graveyard
monster
again.
from your deck to your hand.
But there is a Ghost Bell
Yeah.
chained.
Do you think Ghost Bell's popularity has kind of increased this weekend?
Yes, absolutely. I think it is a card that sees a lot of play right now, and it was really crucial in this moment right here. If
I'll pass my turn.
yeah, Ruben does not have an
Ooh.
extender here.
Wow.
Was not expecting that one.
Yeah, so Cybers Wicked is kind of a new card they've incorporated into Malice. I mean, it's from Savage Strike. It's not a new card itself, but new to the deck.
Not
in the
even new
meta.
to Ad Ignister, if you really think about it.
True.
So if when you're playing your Ad Ignister strategy, Cybers Wicked is going to be there.
So while it can pay off huge and help you access more Cybers monsters from your deck, including those brand new Ad Ignister monsters out of Alliance Insight, where something like Haggard Lizard Dose here wouldn't have been stopped by Ghost Bell and been able to get to in Link 3, it did play
900.
into some of those cards that can interact
at
from the hand
63
here.
to your
And now we're
68.
seeing
Correct.
another battle phase here from Jacob. It doesn't look like he drew into another level 4 monster, so he's going to try and take down the Cybers Wicked. But it's
But it
just
can't be destroyed by battle.
but
I'm
it's
pretty sure.
just going to do damage. But you still take the damage. It's all, you still take the damage.
That's relevant against Mouse, I'll give you that.
It is.
Stand by.
It adds up.
Main one.
Now, does the monster have to be special summoned specifically for Cybers Wicked trigger effect?
Go ahead.
I would have to look.
Oh, well, if we're normal summoning Dormouse anyway, I don't think it matters.
It's either it's gonna happen one way or another. I do think it has to be special
Banish it.
summoned.
You're good.
But yeah, Dormouse is going to resolve.
Going to
gonna-
be able to banish Chessy Cat. Interesting choice. I wonder
I'll
if that's
go
actually live here, because I
effect
imagine the
Chessy
Dormouse
Cat
was also drawn for
myself at
turn.
6,000.
Yeah, Chessy Cat if they're cutting down on the amount of Malice
And
traps that are
I'm
using,
gonna
Chessy
go
Cat
effect
becomes a
the
little
Cybers
more
Wicked.
valuable than White
Banish the
Rabbit.
cost.
But yep,
That's
Cybers Wicked is going to banish White Rabbit. Now he's going to be able to add probably backup Ad Ignister.
Back up to my hand. On a new chain, I'll go Right Rabbit, Chain Link 1.
White Rabbit is going to
That's
pay
myself
300 to
at
special
57.
summon itself to the field.
All right, now it's just about efficiently going for game, because you don't really want to play into anything. You don't have to. You've only summoned 3 times here.
Go ahead and link with these two.
Yep, that could go ahead and make White Binder here, if he so chooses, or just going for Red Ransom to keep the combo going.
This
Looks like
one
we're
is
gonna keep it going.
It's going to search for a Malice spell.
It looks like Jacob is contemplating, and he is going to use an Ash Blossom and Joyous
I'll go
Spring.
Talons to look at your hand.
Okay,
Oh.
Talons, we're looking at your hand. Well, guess what? There
There's
are 2 of them.
Nibiru's.
Thinking.
So he's already summoned 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
It's only 4 times,
Okay.
yeah.
So he can just stop here. He can put back the Ame no Murakamo. Yeah. And just
Yeah.
leave him with the 2 nibs.
I mean, he still has
The
game.
greatest.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, let's see how much damage he needs to do. He's already resolved Dormouse.
The,
He can attack, activate MTP to banish the Red Ransom. Red Ransom will come back and
no, but did he? Banish it with the effect of MTP07, right? That makes sense. I was like, it was set last turn, but he can actually use the MTP07 to banish his own card.
yeah,
As
only-
we learned in a previous
yeah,
YCS.
it matters here because there are names he hasn't used yet.
Yeah.
So he can banish another one from the deck as well.
True, true.
I'll enter battle phase.
Yep, he sees it. He's going to go into the battle phase. Red Ransom's going to attack over Ice Trizeal. Jacob's just holding on to 2
Attack with Chessy Cat for 21.
Nibiru's in the hand. They're not going to do anything in the
So
battle
that'll put you
phase.
at 35, and then attack with White Rabbit for 18.
Yep.
Puts
That's
him
a
down
lot
to
of damage.
17, and then the
Yeah,
MTP07 can banish his own Red Ransom.
You know which
Oh.
card this is.
So I'm at, sorry, 18.
You're at 17.
17.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's at 1700. I'm at 5700. Main
Just-
phase 2.
Nope,
Oh,
nope.
he's not doing it. He knows both cards in his hand. I guess he didn't see the option.
Yeah, I don't think it'll matter too
Yeah.
much here as he's going to link them all away for White Binder.
Anything on summon?
Nope.
Factory reset.
I might have Nibiru'd that on summon. Oh, but I guess it wouldn't matter because he would have chained the MTP-07, banished
I
the
feel
White
like if
Binder.
he remembered that he could do that to banish itself, that he would have done that in the battle phase. But I mean, this is a fine position to just pass in potentially.
Yeah, I mean, there's still no card here that Jacob can draw to win
I'll
this
attempt to
game.
the main phase.
Yep.
Okay.
If he wants to nib, go for it. It eliminates your top deck of extra Ryzeal.
Nip token. Animus.
I'm gonna link right off.
Yeah, Link Spider. I was waiting for it. I was like, I know he runs it, and then I'm waiting
Yeah.
for the backup and everything.
Oh, and now we can
Thanks.
continue with the backup.
Yeah, I was
Essentially,
like, I
honestly,
knew you
this
had the
makes the
extender
board
anyways,
bigger.
you saw me. I'm cooked.
Jacob
Angel?
sees the writing on the wall. He says, I am cooked.
Think
No,
he-
this is the last round of the day. No reason to scoop here just yet. And then you are playing on a big stage against the reigning world champion.
We are.
I'm
Is he
gonna
choosing
go
to add? Oh, he did add the wizard. Okay.
Wizard effect targeting.
Wizard Agnes are going to special summon itself
It's all good. You
and
know
a
my hand.
card from the
And
graveyard.
I'm gonna go.
Looks like he's considering just using 07 to get rid of the Nibiru here.
You could just go into Heart's Cryptor. There's a million things he can do here.
I imagine at some point the Cryptor will hit the board. There is Splash Mage once again.
effects.
The Nibiru was more of a green light than a stopper here for Ruben. Then all three, that's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep,
Or
there's-
just Cryptor.
Go MTP search, and I'm gonna banish the nib.
grabbing
know,
the Marcher.
Because when we saw the play, like at the last YCS, or it was 2 YCSs ago, with the MTP-07 banishing its own card, it's not something that's super obvious.
I think. I guess this is the one I questioned when it would make sense.
I'm
Then
at
I guess this is the
17.
situation where it would make sense, where you're trying to do some battle phase tricks.
Right, exactly, yeah. But, I mean, he is in a commanding position. His opponent spinning that last card in hand. It is just a copy of Nibiru the Primal Being.
I'm surprised he opted to actually get rid of the Nibiru the Primal Being here. I think he wants to. I suppose if it always is going to threaten the battle phase, might as well get rid of it. But I didn't want to open up X as a top deck.
45.
I don't think X will be enough even
Yeah.
still. Yeah. He's going to be able to go into Firewall. He might be able to go into Allied Code, Talker, Adagnister as well.
Target. My
He's going to banish some Malice cards, so
Yeah.
he'll have some fuel for the Heart's Cryptor.
And I'll banish a Dormouse.
Getting those names banished for the Cryptor, as you mentioned, being able to recycle them as well. Now it looks like we're going to be making a Link 2 in IP Masquerena.
Attempt to leave the main. Pass turn.
All right. This should be enough. Let's see what Jacob's last card of this duel is.
Standby.
I guess that's technically X'd, if
Yeah,
you
I
think
mean,
about it.
Chain Ash.
Okay.
As Awesome and Joyous Ring's
like,
going to
my
end it.
open-
And Ruben is going to move on 9-0, winning every round of day one, all but guaranteeing his spot in top 32. So we might see our reigning world champion walk away with another YCS win here this weekend. Big congratulations to Ruben Peñaranda.
I mean, we also get to see Malice take down a convincing win here when we haven't been able to feature Malice ourselves.
This is the first time, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the other matches it seemed a little bit harder for it, but Ruben, you know, a veteran in the game here, world champion, he shows how Malice is meant to be played.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the case. We do have a bonus feature match going on, too, in the background between Chu Ping and Pac, so hopefully we'll be able to jump into that after we get our winner's interview with Kangas, so we can really have like an exciting end to our final day. I mean, I'm down to stay on. If you're down to stay on
Absolutely.
to watch that match after Kangas is done with his interview.
There were so many intense matchups that we could have picked from for this round. It was really hard to
There were
decide.
so many good last matches for round number 9, but we haven't really got to see our world champion in action. And wow, was it fun to watch, you know, him really piloting like the expected best deck going into this weekend, but really showing you why he's 9-0 with it. Doing lots of cool tricks, lots of amazing things, and He's an amazing player.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a little unfortunate for Jacob there, drawing a hand that week or having to pass going first. He did have Artifact Lancia, but like it really lined up well for Ruben's hand that couldn't play that well to begin with. He had to normal summon backup secretary to play. I think when I was looking at it, he didn't have another Malice name to work with. So he was going to have to do some really awkward lines anyway. But now being able to pass with just adding the Dormouse, opting not to have Fualos and just being able to discard it there. But he did have more interruptions in his hand already, so it was a fine choice to make knowing that your opponent had to pass. So I think things just really worked out for Ruben here.
Yeah, definitely. Had that Artifact Lancia been in Jacob's hand, and he also started off with like normal summon Ice Rise Heal,
Yeah.
that Artifact Lancia packs a little bit more of a punch. But when it's into just like pass, well, here's a Lancia, you're just hoping. And even at that point, if your opponent, as Ruben did, has any sort of other forms of disruption, interruption, that one draw off the top of your deck isn't really going to change anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Jacob's situation, he might have had to wait until Ruben committed more cards. He could have held the Lancia as long as he can. If he didn't have to use it, he should have kept it, right?
Oh, just kind of like hold it off until like Ruben like commits something that might banish something like.
Yeah, like normal summon Dormouse effect or Mouse Underground effect, and you get, like try to get a good value out of the Lancia. You just shotgunning it there, trying to play around tactics. I guess it happens, but you can get punished if your opponent just couldn't play to begin with.
He did have that triple tactics talent too that we saw on the following turn, but it was, you know, an honest game there for a while. Lots of attacking back and forth, but it is what it is. It looks like, wow, the bonus match might be finishing up, so we aren't going to be able to jump to that, unfortunately. But it is Shu Ping versus Pack. I know you guys would have loved to see it, but it's a good one. One of those players, I believe they're X1 right now, so the winner of that will be, or the loser will be X2, still be able to make it to day 2, but moving on to day 2 with an X1 record feels a lot better.
A lot safer.
Yeah, even though I've seen plenty of people that go into day 2 with one loss and then happen to lose at 2 in the morning, and then that's the weekend. But I do think Kangas is standing by with our winner's interview, so I'll go ahead and toss it to him. Kangas, take it away. Let's hear from our reigning, undisputed world champion.
Thank you very much, Billy. I'm here with Ruben. Congratulations on your feature match win. And, man, you got the moves already here. Quick, swift 2-0 over your opponent. I want to get your thoughts on your opponent because that was his first time in a feature match. He's never topped an event. What was it like to go up against somebody like him?
So we actually have a mutual friend. He's won the Nationals of Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2016, Eric Christensen. So it was kind of funny with both of us playing. The first thing we did was just message our friend and be like, hey, look, we're playing last round of day 1 undefeated. And then we were chosen for the stream. So it was like really fun and enjoyable. I didn't feel like a lot of pressure, and I hope my opponent didn't either, considering he hasn't topped yet, so he's probably not familiar with being on stage and the extra pressure it brings. So glad it was able to be just an enjoyable match, especially to end a long day.
Well, speaking of comfort and experience on stage, you have some of the most experience on stage, being the reigning TCG World Champion. Now undefeated on day 1 here. Reflect on the day. Is this how you expected things to go based on your prep coming into the weekend?
I mean, expectations are weird things to say. Like, you can say I expect to top or I expect to do well. Like, I want to win every round, and my goal has just been to not misplay. And I had one earlier in the tournament, and I learned from it. And as long as I don't misplay, I'll be happy with my result. I put in the time and effort, and sometimes the cards don't go your favor, and today they did.
Fair enough. Well, I know it's been a long day. I want to let you get going, but final shout-outs for anybody watching?
Yeah, the main people I test with, Hani, Kamal, Charlie. Also, a huge shout-out to my sponsors, Southside Gaming, the best locals in South Florida. You guys should check them out. But yeah, just excited to keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ruben. Congratulations on the undefeated day 1. Now we're going to throw it back to the casters.